joining Dukascopy TV at the IFX EXPO in Cyprus 2014. With the help of our partners, we're quizzing the industry's finest on why to operate in Cyprus and also asking their top strategic tip. With me in the booth right now is Patrick Oerer from GKFX. Patrick, welcome to the booth.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to have you here.
Likewise, pleasure to be your host.
Fantastic. Now let's talk about Cyprus.
Yep.
We find ourselves here at the IFX EXPO in Limassol, but where does the attraction of opening an FX operation lie in Cyprus? Where are the advantages and indeed disadvantages, would you say?
Well, I mean, as we see here, Cyprus is the heart of foreign exchange and binary options probably, particular for Europe, let's say. So considering the show here, you see how many booths are here. The show is growing and growing every year. So definitely this is the center of foreign exchange. That means you have a lot of qualified stuff. You have a lot of good resources. You have a lot of technology companies. So you have all this what you actually need to grow your company. But having said this, that means your competition is also very large.
Certainly. Now, if we do sort of reverse it a little bit, looking at the client's point of view,
right,
what should they consider when opening an FX or looking for an FX broker, to your mind, would you say?
Well, personally, I believe a client should always look if the broker is licensed, and licensed in a, let's say, a well-recognized, regulated environment, such as CISEC, FCA, ASIC, whatsoever. And that's certainly important because clients want to make sure that their funds are segregated on segregated bank accounts and not commingled between the corporate funds. They want to make sure they can withdraw their money. They can have somewhere local facilities to deposit, to withdraw, credit card, etc., etc.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned earlier on the online industry. Social network, social media has really revolutionized the way that everyday people go about their everyday life in terms of sourcing the latest financial information and also making interactions and transactions for that matter. But where do you approach it? What does it mean for you? How do you keep up with these trends in this fast-paced world when communication really is key? What's your strategy?
Well, as you said, I mean, social media is, what is the key point of social media is sharing information, or even if you go down to Facebook, sharing pictures or tweeting, you know. So if you put this down to the trading environment, you'd say traders are sharing knowledge, they're sharing experiences, they're sharing their expertise. And that definitely leads us into using social media also for sharing our message outside to the client. So as the brokers are definitely more and more careful in putting social media as one of their marketing tools in the first place. And then secondly, the social platform or social trading has also become very popular because people don't want to be alone, you know, they want to share. So they want to follow someone.
Now, you mentioned the feeling of being alone. If we talk about globalization, it may be imperative to have a local presence in a global market. But what is your approach to have a foothold in as many different locations as you can, or perhaps to find that niche where with the largest market potential?
Again, we're an online industry, but somehow people want to start touching you. They want to meet you. They want to see you. They want to have a seminar probably. They want to feel that you're real. So the local offices, they definitely help for the relationship. So you're closer to the client. You can assist in local languages. They can even stop by to your office. In reverse, as I said before, I mean, that is a lot of cost and a lot of effort. And this is probably the balance a broker would need to consider what goes in the right direction. For us, in particular, we keep 23 offices around the world, and there are regions you have to be in, that's for sure. Looking probably towards Europe, there is rather a place you can consolidate and have hubs where you can combine similar languages. But considering Asia, for example, China, it's a must-have, and we have 3 offices in China. So it's really very much depending on your strategy.
Definitely. Now, if we just sum up here, if you could lastly give us what you would consider your top advice, your top tip to someone who is looking to perhaps come into the Forex industry or as a broker, what would be your advice strategy-wise?
Well, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You need a strategy. So that's, I believe, the most important thing. You need a strategy, a clear mission and vision. There are so many brokers out there, so you have to be very sure in what you offer. You should probably start with in particular with the niche market or with a certain model before you go in and you want to load up everything that's available on the market. So I personally believe that if you start with something and your own target is being the best in that section, might be a good start point. And then you may add up further business models and further product offerings, etc., etc. But I mean, competition is very, very large in our industry. So one would be, you need to think very properly in what direction you go. But having the right strategy, a good company culture, and the right vision and mission to succeed, I believe that's the key to success.
It certainly sounds it. Patrick, thank you so much for your time and insights today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, well that's all from Patrick and myself for the moment. Make sure you keep clicking back for all the insider info at this IFX Expo in Cyprus 2014. Goodbye for now.